Hey, what is going on, guys? Hope you're having a fantastic day. So it's been about a week since my last post, and I actually ended up getting out the engine. I did the Chris Lopez way, which is out the bottom of the car by raising it up and whatnot. And so basically this is kind of where I'm at with the engine bay. I got the engine kind of off to the side. I used my jack, a 6x6 post, and these kind of like patio stones basically, and lifted it off this little rad support, I guess. Jacked it up enough to raise my stands just about as high as possible, and then I supported the engine from underneath under the motor mounts and kind of slid it out the bottom. So basically this is kind of where I'm at. I am going to start on removing the lower control arms, upper control arms, hubs and all that stuff. I already got my brakes all tied up here. Hard to see because my camera's shit, but got those all zip tied up there out of the way. So I'm gonna drop the subframe and that entire assembly and then bring it into my car to put in my black one before I basically scrap that or continue parting that out. So I'm gonna drop the subframe and then continue cleaning up the engine bay and probably get to grinding all this stuff. I did start degreasing the engine bay. As you can tell, it's all nice and dirty here and then really clean here. Same a little bit here and up here, kind of differences. So basically, rather than using just degreaser and all that stuff, I actually went to Canadian Tire, picked up some supplies because I needed some cat litter, and I found this Simon's Platinum Wheel Cleaner. I think it was like 15 bucks. It's heavy duty, and I just kind of put it on the full spray mode. That stuff works phenomenal. I am personally gonna recommend using this every time for degreasing stuff because that's just insane what that does. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna take out the subframe and all those lower control arm bits, slide that out to the side, and then continue with cleaning up the engine bay and probably trying to remove my brake booster here, and maybe if I have time, get to grinding all of these rust spots down, and especially down here because this whole rad support kind of broke off or rusted off, so I gotta clean up all of this. So I'm gonna put you guys down and get started on that. So basically I took these brake lines off the 96 as well as that little silver piece that where all the lines go to. So I got all of that coordinated for this car because I'm deleting all the ABS lines and all that whatnot. So basically it just mounts right up here, and then I have the lines for the both passenger and driver side, and then I have to buy a brake kit for the rear online because these ones basically rotted through completely and the previous owner changed them. But issue is he never took out the lines. So you can see the old lines here and then the new lines here. But honestly, I'm just gonna replace all of this. And then since I'm going all-wheel drive eventually, so I'm gonna be taking out this entire trailing arm kit and putting something in new in eventually. But for now, I'm gonna just buy some brake line kit and fuel line kit and rewire, or not wire, but reinstall all of that and reroute everything. So yeah, the wheel grinder did work fairly well with all this, but I'm gonna definitely have to fill all this stuff in and continue working on the engine bay. But as of right now, I'm gonna go over to my brother's because you can tell I don't have the subframe in here anymore. It's already in my Mazda, so I'm gonna get ahead and go do that. So it's been about a day since I made that last clip. I went over to my brother's, installed that subframe. I noticed that that car does have brake lines all the way to the rear, so I'm going to try and see if I can take off those lines when I take out the coilovers to put them on my silver car, as you've seen, because the car has stock suspension. But today I'm going to the junkyard to go grab a double din. This one is going into my Honda Civic to kind of like complete the car on the interior, and then they have a Xenon, whatever it is. It has like Apple CarPlay and all that fancy stuff. at the junkyard I'm going to. Hopefully it's still there. I haven't been in about 3 weeks, but I'm going to the junkyard purely just for the radio, and then I'm probably going to take off, see if I can install it today, and then I will not have much more time besides go to work. So I just got to the yard, got inside through the front gate, and this is the culprit that I'm going to be stealing the head unit out of. As you can see, this is the nice display that I will be taking for my car. So I'm just gonna pull out this top piece and then undo the two Phillips heads at the top here and undo the clips and pull this out, and hopefully that's all I really need. So now that I'm over in the Honda section, because I finished up with Mazda stuff, they got a lot of R18 Hondas, which is like 7th gen, I believe. They got a nice Del Sol, they have a Tegra, they have a 7th gen Civic, they got a RSX over here, they got a Accord and a few other taggies. So I'm just gonna look over these cars, see what I can find. I'm pretty sure I heard that the RSX seats are direct bolt-in, but these ones are pretty fucked up, so I'm not gonna bother with these ones. So as you can see, I have my brake lines that I took off my 96, which was my old black one that I ended up selling on the weekend. This is my stock trunk that I took off that I needed to replace because the studs in here are snapped off for where the license plate goes, and it also has a gouge out of it right here. So I was at the junkyard. I didn't record it, but I was at the junkyard, picked up a nice clean trunk, same color and everything. As you can see, the bolt holes are all there and all that, so I decided to slap on my plate. I just had to transfer over the locking mechanism and everything from this one to this one. Everything works, and it had a wing at one point, so I bonded this to close the holes. I need to do another coat on this one and sand it, and this one I already have the glazing putty on it and getting ready to sand that down. Right now that's an 800 grit, so I need to go down to 600 to kind of clean that up, and then I'll finish off with 800 once I'm done. I am working on this quarter. I did some body work here and there on the quarter here, 2 spots on the door. I need to finish up this door area right here, but this is kind of where we're at with the engine bay. Literally everything is removed. I used an angle grinder and a cutting disc and all that stuff to cut away at a few of the brackets, as you can see. So I'm removing all those, and then I am probably gonna bondo that, and then I'm gonna have a buddy come over at some point in time and hopefully weld all these holes closed that I'm not using, and kind of clean up the engine bay a little bit, and then hopefully I will have it ready for paint and primer. As you can still see, it's still disconnected here. I just completely re-degreased it yesterday with the bottle that I showed you earlier in the video. And then I will also need to take off these mounts here all across the front of this rad support, because I'm going to end up doing a full rad. I had a half rad, but that's only good for if I'm doing like drag strips or whatever. But since I'm going to be also using this for the track and daily use, then yeah. Also, my Mazda, I ended up installing that head unit. It is very, very nice quality. It is Android Auto, unfortunately, but I found a device online that says I can plug in an Apple CarPlay. To make it work for my iPhone, so that's nice. And the old head unit that you've seen early in the video that was already in the car, I decided to install in this one temporarily, so that cleans up fairly nicely. At least I have a full interior for the most part, except for I don't have a cup holder or a cubby in here because the brake lines will be in the way and all that extra stuff. So anyways, that is it for today's video. If you comment, like, subscribe, that'd be greatly appreciated, and see you guys in the next video. Peace out.